Well, it's not easy. But first, let me start by distinguishing two types of difficult clients. The first type are those clients who might be very easy to deal with, but who don't have any basic tax knowledge. They're not tax professionals, and they're generally not finance professionals either. They might be the CEO or they might be the commercial manager of a business line. Now, it's one thing to provide international tax advice to a client who's a tax professional but not an international tax expert, but it's much more difficult to provide international tax advice to a client who doesn't have a basic tax knowledge. You can't assume any level of understanding on the client's part. You have to explain the significance of everything you say. It's very stressful. You're always concerned that the client has not fully understood the significance of what you've said. For example, you might say, well, this related party cross-border loan will need to comply with the transfer pricing rules. A client who's a tax professional will know what you mean. A client who's not might not. Now, the second type of difficult client is also stressful, but for different reasons. These are the clients who have an attitude problem. They might be seeking to show that they're technically better than you. For example, they might have been passed over for partnership in a major firm and they're disgruntled as a result. Or they might favour another firm because, for example, they trained with that other firm, and thus they're dismissive of your abilities and are rude and arrogant in meetings. When you've had a long career like I've had, you come across clients like that. And yes, I've got my top 10 list. Frankly, they're a pain in the neck, or somewhere else. But how do you deal with them? Well, there's no magic answer, but I've always tried to keep my cool and remain courteous and respectful despite the temptation to bite back. Let me give you a few examples. I remember sitting in a due diligence meeting with the client, the lawyers, the bankers, and my team, 20 people sitting around a table. The discussion turns to our tax due diligence report, and the CFO of the client, for no apparent reason, says that my firm has produced the report, which better be right, otherwise the client will sue us. That's when you bite your tongue. Here's another example. Australia had recently tightened its thin cap rules. I explained the new rules to a UK client and described a way to limit the adverse impact of the changes. The client then exploded and demanded to know why the rules had been changed. After this went on for a while, I was forced to say, let me be clear, I don't write the tax law. With a nice smile, of course.